Pick a card. Keep going. Don't give up. Messages from your spirit team. Here are your options, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi, Pile 1. My name is Grisel with Psychicmd, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, I decided we're going to do this reading. Clear the area here. Because I'm feeling you guys might be very exhausted. You might be exhausted or discouraged. So this is encouragement from Spirit. Keep going. 10 toes down. And we're going to find out exactly what that means specifically to you, pile number 1. If I don't burn my set down, right? Let's hope not. So keep going. Mentigun, probably mispronounced that. Longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers. That is so beautiful. So you could be feeling really, really weary, pile number 1, feeling like regardless of where, quote, home is, it is never home. You could be feeling like perhaps no home that you've ever had in this 3D world has felt like home before. And I actually can relate to that. So you could be having problems with your root chakra, with scarcity syndrome, with feeling like you are displaced, you don't belong, people can't relate to you, feeling discouraged, maybe thinking, well, what is the point? But you are closer than you know. You did come here to heal the world, to heal people. I feel pile number 1. And if this fits exactly what you're feeling, or at least 90% of it, then there are messages here for you. If this is out on left field, then not for you, no problem. Pick another reading or another reader, whatever it is to your liking. So pile number 1, for some reason I'm feeling like emotional all of a sudden. I was fine, and now I just feel emotional. I feel like out of sorts, like I don't have people, I don't have my people, I don't have any people, that kind of a thing. And this could be something that you've been longing for a long, long time, but I'm here to tell you that you definitely have people. Now, here's where your intellect is going to have to kick in, and it's going to be a by faith kind of a thing. But I'm going to say that you are definitely unusual. You are here, again, to help heal the world. I heard clear the world and clean the world somehow. So we're going to find out more about that. But I feel like you lend clarity to a lot of people in a lot of situations. Now, the reason why you're feeling lonely or alone, obviously you don't have like people of your, there's not 2 of you in your hometown or in your state even, who knows, right? I'm just going to say that if we were all concentrated in one area, there would be no need. We would be integrating with each other. Not that we're not taking care of other people around us and things like that, but we would have less of a motivation. And I know it's taken incredible strength to get to where you're at. So your encouragement thus far is 10 toes down. Do not give up, okay? Because you're closer than what it appears and what you feel. Oh my gosh. We have the 9 of Cups right here. So pile number 1, I'm going to say that it's a confirmation. You're definitely closer. I feel like the more that you speak on things that are close to your heart, because right here you seem a little bit closed off. And again, continually thinking about how you're going to sustain yourself. Maybe, you know, where is home, that kind of a thing. And those thoughts, where or what kind of a job can you have? Or maybe you're worried about your job. But all the 3D things are lingering in your mind right now. And that wasn't meant to be a thing for you. So I'm being told to ask Spirit to really make it clear where it is that you can flourish, where it is that you belong, where it is that you need to remain planted is what I'm hearing. So that alludes to the fact that maybe you are currently exactly where you need to be and you're just not really sure about it. Let me know if these messages are hitting. So pile number 1, yes. So this gives me the whole thing of like 10 toes down. I feel like you could have had people come for you like out of the blue when really all you want peace and you want to heal people. I even am looking at her mermaiddom. That's not even a word, but let's get closer. Look at her fin structure right here. It feels to me like you've been through it, okay? So you could have been through a lot, and even though her hand is down, in my mind's eye, I felt like her hand was on her chest. So you could have had some like issues with like heart problems or emotional problems and things like that, and you're looking for answers, and your ancestors and those that are on the other side are really wanting to lift you up, your spiritual guides as well, and saying, hey, you need to ask for help, ask spirit for help, and we will send you help. But it's not like we can always intervene without you acknowledging us. So you are not in it alone, even though it feels that way. Look for different ways to build your community in the most unexpected ways. I personally will tell you that my idea of like building a community, I'm like, well, I want to find people like me. Well, you know, fat chance. I mean, not many anyways. And so while we can do things like that online, we can pick up hobbies and things that we have a passion for, an interest in, and so on and so forth, and defend your cause. So whatever it is that you're interested in, if you're like into holistic healing, acupressure, acupuncture, if you're into energy work, if you're into pottery, if you like building miniatures, whatever your thing is, see if you can find a club, or, you know, if you're into Facebook and things like that, there are resources there that you can look up. Just type in whatever you're interested in. You should get a whole bunch of prompts as far as different groups to join, and maybe you can form or forge some friendships in that way, or some support for yourself. Okay. And then let's not ignore the obvious. You want to get you a good therapist, if that's, you know, a thing. Definitely believe in therapy. But just know that the things that are like in your path that have been really rough, that you've had to stand firm on, things like that, it is designed to build character. And I know it's painful, and we're sick of hearing, don't put me through any more tests and things like that. But honestly, it's so many different reasons why you've had to stand tall and stand your ground and stand on the things that you are passionate about. With the green, this is your heart chakra. So I feel like you definitely have a higher elevated like motivation, a desire to do things in such a way, but you've had to really defend your stance, and people don't understand it. And you know what? At this point, apparently, why is that like coming through so awful on camera? There we go. Kind of better. You know, they're not necessarily meant to, but you're told, you know, you are pursuing your dream and you are on the right trajectory. So if you're feeling weary, get some more rest, drink you some more water, try to maybe even make some homemade electrolyte water. You can look those up on like TikTok or whatever, but it's kind of nice to be able to do and take care of yourself. Drink some tea, whatever feels comfortable for you. Now I'm being told also that some of you guys have an issue with like sensory and you don't even know it. So being in a world where it's just a little bit tough, it's cold, and people are just not honest, where a lot of us are towing the line on, you know, what the media says or what commercials say to good, or what TikTok pushes and things like that. And we're all trying to find a niche or find a place to lay our heads and feel, I'm hearing a gusto. So maybe some of you guys are Latino or speak another language, or from Spain, I don't know. But, you know, you're looking for some place to feel at ease and feel comfortable in your own skin. And unfortunately, like this is just saying, it's like burn all my cards. You saw it here first, Paul number one. There's no way to do that but to go within. And so you have to find that which is going to give you peace within first. So of course we can seek out the outside stuff, and maybe like getting out to the water and things like that is going to really help you. Even with the blue right here, expressing yourself more, even when people come against you, you know, and it seems kind of crazy and it's exhausting. Yeah, look. Seven of Swords, you've had to take your knowledge and wisdom, and part of you just wants to take your knowledge and run. You're like, you know what? I ain't signed up for all that. I ain't here for all that. Now, I'm also hearing that some of you guys are going to be burning contracts that are no longer lucrative for you. They have been contracts that have pigeonholed you, or contracts you didn't read thoroughly. And this could be like 3D contracts, like, you know, I leased a car instead of buying it, or I'm in this contract and it's no longer beneficial. This could be signing up for subscriptions that you don't use. I don't know what the thing is, but I'm here to tell you that you are releasing yourself from those things. You're starting to realize that this energetically has been weighing you down, and you are no longer doing it. Now, the desire to like turn and run, pile number one, that is totally me. I'm like, you know what? I'll just take my ish and go. Bye. And I feel like you know, you're comfortable within your own skin, like being by yourself. You've been there and done it before. And yes, does it get lonely? Yes. but you're meant to extend a light to other people. And so you cannot hide your light any longer. You've already learned exactly what it is that you need to learn. I'm not saying that anyone is perfect, including myself for sure. But I am saying that you have enough, the wherewithal, the knowledge, the wisdom to be able to move forward and keep it pushing in order to achieve whatever it is that is on your agenda, your soul purpose, if you will. Pile number 1. So we have the Justice. This is everything in balance. But when I look at these right here, to me, that looks like, and I hate kind of talking about this because it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm just going to say, like, I'm Latino, so, and part of my community is like, you know, it's perfectly acceptable to do binding spells and to do, you know, shut your mouth spells and things like that. It's just not who I am. So it makes me uncomfortable, but I really feel right here that this could be, you know, black magic that has been done against you in order to prevent your progress. So if you're feeling stifled, if you're feeling like things are not progressing, do some simple, like, logical steps to see if you can ease movement there. Also, ask your guides to really make it clear, what is it that is holding you back? It could be something energetic. It could be a mindset. It could be a combination thereof, but making sure that you lend equitable measurements of, like, spirituality to whatever it is that you're doing, practicality, right? They have to go in conjunction together, because I feel like you're a little bit out of balance here. Let's see. But yeah, there's an easy way to find out if you have, you know, any black magic on you. Take water vessel and fill it and wait for that to kind of calm and level, and take 2 matches. And after getting the energy going, you know, together like this, I should get 2 matches, but I don't have any. Then you want to place them in the water. If they drift together and cross, and definitely black magic, and you look up ways to get help with that and removing that. Or if they drift apart, then you are a-okay there. This could just indicate a mental block or a block against being balanced. So there's something out of balance. Now, for 1 or 2 of you, I'm going to say that your hormones are out of balance, and that needs to have a full-on checkup. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, in spite of my name. Pile number 1. If you're liking this kind of reading, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, I have another second channel that I recently opened up. It's been a little bit more than a month. It is called Toughdolltarot. If you want to peruse those videos, I think I only have maybe like 21-ish, somewhere on there on that channel. If you want to take a look, it's a little bit more lighthearted. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you think. I do have August 2024 giveaways on both channels. Look in your community tab so that you can enter if you desire. Pile number 1, you have the 6 of Cups. This is a longing to return to the past, to a time when perhaps you felt comforted, a time when, you know what, I'm not even feeling that, to be honest. What I'm feeling is a time that felt familiar. I feel like you are a fish out of water. What? Yes. So my guides are showing me that you are uncomfortable because you're doing things that are different. And this is good and healthy for you. So keep your 10 toes down, keep proceeding, keep it pushing, because you're actually making really great strides. And shortly, I'm feeling for the majority of you, in 2 weeks, things are going to ease up, and you're going to feel a level of comfort, like maybe 30% more than what you do right now, which is a huge, drastic change, okay? A lot of you guys are wanting to go back to something. Look at all this knowledge and all his books, and it's almost like hidden knowledge. Once again, a lot about hidden knowledge. And I feel like maybe even you want to go back to a mentor or somebody who is able to give you, like, I don't want to say spoon feed you, but give you the chalice of knowledge and wisdom, give you the resources that you need. And some of you guys want to return to that time. But what you don't realize, pile number 1, is that you are the teacher now. And each and every time, I feel like we should always be in the energy of, like, teacher and student. I want to be both, because I don't want to be like the teacher all the time. How boring is that? But I also don't want to think that, like, wow, I've arrived and I don't know it all, you guys. I know, shocking, right? But I feel like if you embrace that spirit of commitment to think that you are very dualistic, that you're going to be a teacher as well as a student in life and of life, I feel like it's going to balance out a lot more for you. Yeah, there's something about you feeling the absence of maybe another person or like a mentor, that kind of a thing, wanting a guide yourself. But you have your guides. Everything is at your disposal, okay? At your fingertips. And you done read the books. even if you don't feel. Yeah, look, what are we talking about? You've read the books. Pile number 1, you have a lot of stability. So finding your balance and not rocking the boat. Poised, calm, and steady. And slow and steady does win the race. A lot of you guys are on this trajectory where there's a huge expanse and you don't really know what to do, what's the next step. And the next step is simply putting one foot in front of another and in whatever direction, because trust, Spirit, that you will be rerouted or that you will meander into the right zones in the right area. If there's a doubt in your mind, okay? I feel like going with the flow is going to be very, very important. I heard even different for you. So maybe you're somebody like me, been swimming upstream the whole time, fighting the damn stream. Sorry about the cursing right there. But we be fighting the current for no reason and, punching the current, trying to knock it out. In a lot of ways, I feel like, fighting yourself. And this is partially why you're weary. And it's not that Spirit's trying to nose to the grindstone kind of a thing. But I do feel like there has to be if you grew up with siblings, I did not. But if you grew up with siblings and how kids are always fighting and jostling for attention and they can get into it. And it's like until one person cries uncle, and you feel the fight go out of them. And then you can lead them into the right area, the right pasture, not that kids are animals, but you know what I'm talking about. So I feel like there's an ability for your stability to come quicker. And I keep getting 30%. So I don't know if that means something to you. Pile, yeah. Oh, I knew I'd get this card. I was supposed to look it up and see how you pronounce it. Ephemeral. I don't know. Don't pronounce it like I do. Have a brief, no. Sorry. I'm like, no, you're not. Having a brief affair or rocky relationship. I'm like, the heck you will. I'm not going to advise people to do that. Okay. Short term and having fun. Okay. Definitely have fun. But you know what? Keep in mind, as I have said time and time again, and on this channel, whenever you share your body, you are sharing spiritual lineage with people. You are therefore this is another contract. You better think long and hard about it. I'm so sorry to sound like your mom, but you know what? Pile number 1, this could be you just want to be really careful that you're not having short little stints of relationships here and there. And I've been there. I'm not a freaking angel. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that this can leave you feeling stagnant versus feeling this huge expanse. We could be looking security in all the wrong places. I resemble that remark, but I'm just going to say that really watch before you leap. If you can't see, the bottom of that water, if you're not really entirely sure, then just don't do it. I think that using people as a scratching post in order to feel better is just not good policy. It's not good practice. And it definitely doesn't help your spiritual hygiene. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Also, wearing turquoise is going to really help elevate you into a position where you feel a lot more optimistic. Orange colors are going to really help you as well to get the fire beneath you, to get you kind of moving in that direction as well. Feel free to express whatever it is that you are feeling to Spirit. And these readings are running long. I notice people click off after the 10-minute mark. So here we are. Pile number 1. I'm hoping that this is helpful to you. Yeah, just I wanted you to feel loved, to feel protected, to know that you are being taken care of in spite of feeling like you have to take care of yourself all the time. Even I see you kind of red in the face going like, and I'm going to huff and I'm going to puff and I'm going to blow your house down. I'm not laughing at you, but I feel that. I feel all those things. So if you can relate, man, type in an R there or relate or whatever. But I'm rooting for you. And I know that your breakthrough is just around the corner. So please don't give up. Much love to you. Until next time. Namaste. Hi friends, my name is Grisel with Psychicmd and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2. This is your read. Keep going. Keep going. 10 toes down. Spirit is encouraging you. During the crumbling, you have the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Oof. This definitely gives me tower vibes. This definitely makes me feel like we are standing at the bottom of this expanse looking up. But the only thing right here is that you need a little bit of a paradigm shift. Pile number 2. I feel like instead of standing in the center and then seeing, okay, this is a tower. Maybe we built it. Maybe our ancestors built it. Maybe it's been there forever and you've never known that there was anything beyond the tower. You didn't even know like what the tower was there for. You just got used to it as a fixture in your mind, in your home, in your heart, that kind of a thing. But I feel like you're standing maybe right over here. I'm all breathing hard. Sorry. I hate when people breathe into the microphone. It makes me kind of crazy. And here we are, pile number 2. I'm going to say that things have not been easy for you. Just as difficult as keeping polish on and have it not chip, right? For me. Just kidding. So I feel like you've been standing on this expanse right down here, maybe looking up, unable to like really even acknowledge or see what is between the cracks. I feel like you have some massive things that have already cracked, structures that maybe perhaps you built with your own hands, or again, that have already been established that are indeed crumbling. I feel like some of you guys also could be feeling like perhaps you're having like a mental breakdown, or, you know, things are happening, or maybe you're going crazy. I don't know what it is, but that could not be further from the truth. I feel like you're getting illuminated, that you are understanding that we're actually living in a matrix. And what you see is not what you get. Definitely what you hear is a lot of programming. Even to the music that we listen to has been programmed to a certain amount of hertz in order for us to pretty much be docile, I guess. I'm sure other motives as well. But I'm going to say pile number 2, that if you've been thinking, look, it looks really stormy out there, it looks rainy, like it's not welcoming. It's, look at all this lightning going on right here. It makes you want to kind of run for cover, hide in the darkness even more. Now's the time to step into the light. It is not a time to hide into the darkness. And I feel like you could have a tie to pile number 1 as well. So if you were debating in between, you might have messages in both. Pile number 1, the crumbling. What are you clinging to? Let's see a little bit more. See if we can gain some clarity. Don't be messing up my brand new cards. They're not brand new, but still. I have high hopes for these candles. Oh, well, look. Pile number 2, I'm looking at the wolf behind, and this is, you know, a wolf maybe giving a warning and things like that. But you have your eyes strictly bound, and your body is bound, and you have all these swords, which tells me that in your mind you're bound. That was so deep, Crystal, sorry. I feel like you're just being bound in your mind, and almost like this is starting to look to me like Morse codes. So this can have to do with communication, swords of communication. I feel like Morse codes, like the old you know, that kind of a thing. Not that I know a lot about it, but I'm going to say that you're trying to crack the code, and it's right in front of you. And I feel like you're listening, and you're trying to really heighten your other senses. You're trying to get someone to say, hey, this is the way, this is the cause. This is really what is being said. This is what is spoken. This is what people are really communicating. You're trying to get in touch with your feelings as well. But there's a need to really utilize all of your senses. I heard all 5, but all 6 of your senses. Yeah, with the devil. The devil's like, hey, what's up? What's up? Here I am to enslave you. Here I am to make sure that you don't get out of this quandary right here. And maybe perhaps you're shutting your eyes to the fact that there is a devil, and that could be anything. That could be anything that you're addicted to, or that could be anything that you feel personally chained to that you can't separate yourself from. Because a lot of times, you know, I'm not going to lie, the devil could be like, well, it just makes us feel good. We want to do what we want to do. Don't be telling nobody, that kind of a thing. And so we enslave ourselves. We're like, oh, where do I sign up? Let me sign that contract too. And I feel like you're just maybe a little bit blind to that. You need to say goodbye to the devil, whatever it is that is serving to enslave you. And I feel like once you have your eyes open, that you can see that you're not actually chained and bound. It could be a job. I'm feeling for a lot of you guys as a job, that you feel like this isn't your calling, but this is damn good bread and butter. Like, things are really going super well. Everything is going so well, right? But I feel like you're not seeing that the door is parting. Maybe that structure is crumbling. Maybe the time has come for you to move on. And maybe you've done like 10, 15 years there, or 5 years, or whatever the case is. But you saw yourself like moving up the ladder, or maybe even being a shareholder in that company, something to that effect. But whatever it is, you don't want to see the truth of the matter that is ending. But my friend, it is. Hold on tight, because something beautiful is about to open up for you. And all you got to do is open your eyes. this kept popping out when I was asking Spirit what to read upon. Pile number 2, this has everything to do with your mojo, with your desire, where it is that you're headed. This is following your dream. I feel like right now you are standing on this dry, brittle land when you're really trying to get in touch with your senses, your feelings, and things like that. Or this can actually be that you are ignoring what it is that you're like, water, what water? And your feet are all soaked. You even got maybe some sand and stones going on in your shoes. And you're like, yeah, there ain't no water there. But this has something to do with your security. So any idea or anything that has been like kind of challenging your security, I feel like that's what's coming out to the forefront, and that you're clinging tightly to it because you feel like there is lack in your life. There is not lack. There is a lack of understanding that the community as well as Spirit has a lot more abundance than you give it credit for. And if we expect little, minuscule morsels, and that's exactly what you're going to get from people and from circumstances. So it's going to be good practice, best practice, right? In order for you to get with is to challenge those perceptions, those ideas, even the here X marks a spot. Yeah, with a little bit of like conditioning, a little bit of, hey, you know, you're a little bit hexed in this thinking, you're a little bit caught up in your brain, you're a little bit feeling like you can't get out of this situation, but that is further from, that can't be further from the truth. And look at this guy, he's like made of magic. We are going to get closer because that's what we do. Now check this out. This guy is like, well, I got a wand up, but you know, do I even need it? Look at my protection. You are divinely protected. I feel also that people can even like want to challenge you on what you're thinking. Maybe you have to take care of a family, or you have bills, who doesn't, right? But you, my friend, are no different than anyone else, and Spirit will help you, will elevate you and help protect you. Because it's like right here, you have the abundance that you crave, the freedom that you crave, but you've been sitting in this darkness for too long. I hear towing the line and doing what other people have been telling you to do. And it sucks because I feel like you're also looking at the past, looking at your history. I feel like a lot of you guys are looking back and saying, well, my youth is spent, it's gone. What do you mean I got to start all over again? Well, do you want to live the rest of your days in misery? Because I can tell you right now that you feel caught up in your head and you're miserable, you feel controlled. Or do you want to gamble at a chance of freedom, at a chance of new thinking? I don't know. And that sounds really harsh, and it sounds kind of like, well, duh, but no, it's not. And I've had jobs where I've stuck it out because I've been miserable, but it pays well, you know? And so that's part of life. But I feel like you're going to start opening up gradually to seeing that things are really different. And maybe I feel like when you're indoors, you're looking and all you can see is like lightning and thunder outside, and it looks ominous. It looks like it's going to pour and all these things. But if you physically go outside, you realize that it is actually quite beautiful, that the water is refreshing, the rain is refreshing. Maybe you want to collect some moon water and do a little witchy whatever, right? Drink some moon water. I mean, you want to do that carefully. I don't know about bugs and all that. But, well, you can cap everything. Maybe not drink the moon water, but cure water, clean water, and yeah, cure it outside with the moon. Anyways, sweet love to you. What are we getting into, Grisel? Looking back, missing the moments you shared together. Nostalgic reflection. So maybe you are feeling kind of nostalgic when things didn't feel this difficult, when you didn't realize that this path was going to get you to here, to Stonehenge. Not that that's a bad thing, but to, you know, this area where it's all stone and blocked off and nothing is really growing, and it's great to visit, but it's not necessarily a great place for you to live. Not right now. So you're being encouraged to let go of those moments of nostalgia because you can make a lot more memories, healthier memories, happier memories. And sitting in the dark, I feel like a lot of you guys, that's me, by the way. I like to turn all the lights off, and I'm like, I feel comfortable. I'm good. I can even work like that if professionally it was professional. That was redundant. You're welcome. Pile number 2, embrace change. Through challenges, true connection can flourish. Yeah. And I think about like team building. Okay. And we always think like team building exercises and whatnot. But when you're going camping, when you're going hiking, on brutal hikes and things like that, not that I've been on many of those. My definition of brutal would probably be laughable to the, she's even smirking. She's like, Ursula, really? But I'm just going to say, you know, you want to choose your partners carefully. You want to know that they have the gear, that they know what they're doing, that they are safety first, and also that they have a heart for you. I mean, because it's easy to be like, if this guy's, or even if she's like, hey bro, come with me, and I'm going to go hiking, and she has a motive, like, I'm going to leave you stranded because our last date sucked, or you're a cheater. I don't know what could be going on here. I feel like you want to definitely open up your eyes and pick up, you know, your partners with great care. The people that you're going to move forward to from now on are going to be very heart-centered and selected. And I feel like you're going to get clarity with that, because all of this nostalgia, I feel like you're kind of sinking into emotions, but not reality, and been there, done that for a long time. So when we look back, a lot of times we pick the best moments. It's like looking back at albums or pictures, old school albums, or even on your phones, you know, you can look back and go, wow, that was a great memory. And it's like, yeah, but how did that day end? Or how was the rest of the day? Because a picture only gives you an idea, a snapshot, a window, right, into the life of other people. And this is encouraging you to keep going, because you're about to reach a breakthrough, and you're going to realize how to crack the code yourself. You're going to hear, maybe you're becoming clairaudient. So tap more into that if that's feeling like it resonates with you. But I feel like you're about to crack the code in order to open up a whole new world. And I'm getting that it's a whole new world. And I don't even know the song. I don't even know the song, but it's one of those cartoons, right? So it's going to be very important, because I feel like it's going to be exciting. It's going to be an adventure. And maybe perhaps you are like me. Like, I'm a Leo. I do not like change. I don't like change. I'd rather kind of stick with what I know, because I know it makes me feel secure. But I've been having to really challenge myself a lot more than past few years. Like, you know, a little bit of a challenge here and there. Going out of my comfort zone. Parking somewhere different. Just kidding. But not really. Not quite that bad, but yeah. You know, and this can manifest in a lot of different ways. So I'm just going to say, take little baby steps. And yeah, for those of us, I like kind of doing the same thing. It gives me a feeling of like peace and routine. I'm not guessing. There are no surprises, that kind of a thing. But I do like parking in a similar place or in the same place every time. And so I change it up to make myself uncomfortable. I like taking the same route to work. Get uncomfortable, G, with going a different route, and so on and so forth. And by the way, breaking routines is going to really help to create a breakthrough. Even tying, you know, your right shoe before your left one, whatever. Do the opposite. Do the opposite of what you've been doing until you get comfortable with it. And I feel like it sounds like such a minuscule, silly thing, but I think that you will see really big changes with that. Timeless elegance, you're always beautiful to someone who loves you. Confident, real, and standard. So this goes back to, you know, because when we're looking back a lot of times, unless that person is crossed over, not necessarily totally true, but you know, we're looking back with nostalgia, and it's, you know, at the memories and missing and pining. And I resemble that remark, because I'm very, contrary to popular belief, I'm very mushy on the inside. So I'm just gonna say that we can keep our memories and things like that, but you cannot live there, because the time is now, and everything is timeless. And I feel like, yeah, you could have an elegance about you, but allow yourself grace to really kind of like honor the past and what was, and maybe go over pictures and think about that, but also allow for new opportunities and new memories to make their way to you. You were not made to live in a time capsule, and I feel like that's what's been happening right here. And that tower is about to bust forth and break open for you. And once again, I liken that to like a seed, like a lemon seed, if you want to grow lemon seed and kind of speed up the process, if there's such a thing. And once again, disclaimer, I'm not a gardener. I have brown thumbs. I can kind of keep things living. But I'm just going to say that, you know, sometimes we have to help these seeds. We got to crack them open and then allow the process to germinate, because maybe the shell will take like 20 years to crack open if you don't help it along. So that cracking open is maybe your sign to the universe of saying, look, I'm doing small things in order to allow bigger and better things. Help me to be brave and help me to understand and see the worth and value in these things. Because I feel like in a short amount of time, if you commit to like doing 3 small things like this, you will absolutely see a difference, and it'll help you be braver. I have a friend who says it's okay to be afraid. As they say, it's okay to be afraid, be brave. do it anyways, basically, is the message. And I'm kind of the queen of, you know, being fearful about something and doing it anyways. Just do it anyways. And the first couple of times will probably suck at whatever it is that you're going to do. One instant I'll tell you really quick, because we're drawing near our time, is I, you know, went for the first time and I rented some paddle boards, and I went paddleboarding, had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to prime the nozzle, the pump, whatever you want to call it. I knew nothing about it, and I learned the hard way, like everything else in my life. So I really, I wasn't comfortable. I had a range of emotions. I was like, what the hell? I could do stuff that I know and just be comfortable and not, you know, have to deal with all this. But then I never would have had that experience. And then, you know, now I have the idea of like, well, I can have my own paddle boards, or I can even get like a kayak if I want, or a canoe. So there are different things that you can utilize to motivate yourself. But I feel like something is definitely coming down and crumbling for you. So remember that when things happen like this, it's not to you, because it feels so personal. It's like taking off a Band-Aid and the kid's like, no, 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 don't. And it's all crusty and grungy and gross. Sorry about the analogy, but you get the point. Spirit's like, come on, let's rip that Band-Aid out, because baby, we got places to go and things to do and life to enjoy. So that's what I have for you. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi, pile number 3. My name is Grisel with Psychicmd, and I'm here to do your reading. I'm going to get a little bit of cleansing, a little bit of energy going on here. And if you see the candles dancing more than usual, I have everything open. It is an incredibly beautiful day. So I thought I'd open up the airways. That's a weird way of putting it, but here we are. Pile number 3, you chose this image on the right-hand side of your screen. And this is your message. Pile number 3. The ever-unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening to you. It's happening for you, not to you. So pile number 3, you are undergoing something right now, and Spirit just wants to really encourage that. Spirit wants to encourage you to actually, in some ways, break your heart wide open and allow for the beautiful experience of what is. And the only thing that I can really kind of think of off the top of my head is, you know, when I dropped my son off at the airport after spending some time with him. And I feel like it's easy for me to want to kind of mourn the loss of him not being around, that kind of a thing. It's a lot more challenging for me to actually, I don't want to say puff my chest up, that's not what we're here for, but open my chest up to the heavens and allow this beautiful experience of whatever has been, allow it to be what is, to relish in the structure, to relish in the moment, embodying the moment. And this is an encouragement to you from Spirit to keep going, to not give up, that this rose is ever unfolding, that the beauty of life is going to continue to unfold in unexpected and miraculous ways that you never would have thought before. And that if you're having a hard time, this is your cue to pause, to maybe even smell the roses, to breathe deep. Actually, if you're suffering from anxiety, because I feel like that could be a thing with some of you guys, there's a ton of breath work videos out there, but one simple thing that you can do is to take a deep breath and fill up to capacity, and then give it one good breath on top of it. So, and then just exhale normally. Sorry, breathe into the microphone, but I was trying to show you without showing you. So I feel like this is going to really help you. Take delight in the pauses, in the silence in between where, quote, nothing is happening. Keep in mind that a lot of us do a lot of growing, a lot of stretching, a lot of letting things go in the darkness. Not everything is sunshine and rainbows, and we all know that. But that's not your reason to give up. I know that times can be very, very difficult. And a lot of times things can be like the desert. There ain't nobody encouraging us, right? It's similar to having a trainer, a vocal trainer, a trainer at the gym, maybe even a driving trainer, where they're going to give you the skills and the tools, but you must eventually go out on your own and do the thing, whatever that thing is. I feel like there's a lot of emotion in front of you, and I feel like you are finding those times where you're able to kind of embrace those sweet moments. And I heard bittersweet. Maybe they are bittersweet. I feel like some of you guys are undergoing different chapters in your life where you are experiencing a glow up, a show up, some sort of a transformation, and this could be quite unusual. I also feel like you are maybe even celebrating the end of structures or restructuring things in your own life, and this could seem quite different for you. And maybe perhaps you're even embracing colors that you never have before, with the illusion of like a cathedral, like a shadow here, or the implication. I feel like this can even have to do with your spirituality and how you are growing, what you are experiencing, and even getting easy with being uneasy. And that sounds kind of like a paradox, doesn't it? But pile number 3, I feel like you're allowing yourself to be more spirit-led than ever before. You're allowing the naysayers to say whatever. I don't feel like you're concerning yourself with any of that. I feel like there's a softness about you that has never been before. I think it's very beautiful. I feel like people are aware of that as well. And it's not that you can't handle tough situations and things like that. That's not even the implication. The point is that I feel like you're at ease with allowing things to be just as they are. And for you, a lot of this is a message of self-acceptance, actually, for palette number 3. Palette 3, I just saw 505 on the board right now. That could be a special consequence to you. I always get a little bit edgy and nervous when I see 5s, personally. They are not my favorite number. For me, that indicates a lot of change, okay? But I feel like maybe 2 big changes are coming, right? 505, and it reduces to a 1 ultimately in numerology. And I feel like these are new beginnings. And I feel like you're starting to stretch yourself that way. And you're starting to open up to experiences and stop fighting the natural progression of things. So let's see what else we have here for you, because we have, a few cards to get through. There is a pause. Well, there is a pause and a clause. Pile number 3. You could be even reevaluating things that you consider to be heartbreak, heartache, things of old perhaps. And I feel like you are definitely entering a new chapter. I feel like your perspective is definitely changing. I won't be surprised if the Hangman shows up here. Doesn't have to be, or even the Tower. But I definitely feel like you could be once again connected to your spirituality. I feel like you're reevaluating everything from the beggar to the giver. I forget what those are called, but they're little like terms. They always come together. The giver and the taker, right? The victim and the hero, all of those things. I feel like you're reevaluating. And I feel like you're entering a period of your life where things are such ease and you're such in the flow and you're so tapped in. Is it Louis? No, Abraham Hicks. I feel like you could be somebody who has like studied metaphysics for a long time, spirituality for a long time. And I feel like you're actually starting to get out of it what you have put in at long last. I feel like it's been a long road. And with this river ahead, I'm hearing like a river. I don't even know what that song's about. But with this river, I feel like maybe I don't want to say you have one last hurdle, but I feel like you're opening up very much like this flower. I feel like you have allowed your heart to be cracked open and allowed the beauty of what life is. For some reason, I'm feeling like on Golden Pond. If you guys are old enough, if you know, you know. Okay, for the rest of you, it was, I don't even know if I even saw it because I was young when it came out, but it was something to do with like older people and aging with grace and things like that. So maybe perhaps you have been like a slave to ageism, or that has been on your mind or something, but something about your life is really changing. It is growing. I feel like you're connecting deeper with spirituality. You're reevaluating those hurts, those wounds of old, and I feel like you're renaming them. I feel like you're taking your power back. I feel like you're ripping those pages out and rewriting things. And not that you're rewriting reality, but I feel like you're rewriting them from a different point of view. I feel like you've done a paradigm shift. You could be coming from pile number 2, by the way. And also, I didn't even thank you guys for new subscribers. people that have been with me since the beginning. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. I do have a second channel I just opened up where I have over 21 wow, videos for you to peruse. So they're a little bit lighter in topics than this channel, but if you're interested, go check it out. I also have a giveaway for reading with your truly, August 2024 giveaway. Check your community tab on both channels. I have 2 of them. So keep going. Keep going, Spirit says. Love song. Let love's melody inspire your dance together. I feel like this is your dance with life. Harmony, rhythm, in sync. That's beautiful. And what is going on here? Endless love. This could be the one you waited for to love forever. But I feel like this has to, let's read it right, Grisel. This could be the one you waited for to love forever. Why is that so difficult for me to read? We've got a mental block, pile number 3. But I feel like this has a lot to do with realizing that the universe, spirit, God, your higher self, whatever it is, Buddha, right, loves you endlessly. Like there's no middle, beginning, and end. It has been constant love all the way through. Very similar to like a gardener pruning their garden and watering and being diligent. And, you know, it makes me think of like the biodome in Arizona where they did this experiment and all these like beautiful trees grew. They were magnificent and it was amazing. But because there was no wind, they kept toppling over and there's nothing, no root structure to hold it together. And I feel like what has been feeling like a lone journey or a solo thing, or you having to be the lone wolf, or difficulty has been nothing but pruning from your life in order to pave the way for something more beautiful, for peace to come towards you and for you. And I think, yeah, you're able to view things in a slightly different manner. Ace of Cups. You could be getting a new tattoo. Let me know if you do. I feel like love could be coming your way in a funny way. Endless love. The more that you love yourself, the more that things start looking up, the more that you start dying to this idea that heartache and heartbreak is carried forever. For a long time, I feel like that's been my philosophy. That has been my school of thought, or at least my experience. And it's not like we don't go through pain, and we can acknowledge it and we can feel it. And sometimes we're required to sink into it and just give into it, to purge it out of our system, but also not to live in the shadows of pain to where you can't accept anything new. And if that's been you, I have news for you. Pile number 3, keep going, because even though you've been on a break, on a rest, taking some time out, maybe evaluating what is heartache, heartbreak, what does this mean? And what does it mean to me and my life purpose and such? I feel like the wheel is turning to your benefit, and a lot of peace is coming with this connection. So if this is a love connection, I feel like this is coming for you. And now if this isn't love, you're not interested, or if you're in a connection, this could also be self-love, because I keep getting that. A lot of love here for you. Watch us get the Devil. Oh no. Okay. Let's zoom in here. Pile number 3. It's you and me. It's you and me, baby. Check this out. So this guy is like earth, fire, wind, water. Now, who here remembers? Probably like nobody. The Wonder Twins. They were like this cartoon when I was super young. And they would be like, it was brother and a sister, and they're all Wonder Twin powers activate. And they would, you know, fist pump way before. We had that going before y'all brought it into being a thing, okay? I'm just saying. And they're like, make like a big gorilla. And then the girl's like, make like a bucket of water. And the gorilla would, you know, the guy would become the gorilla, and the girl would become a bucket of water, vice versa, whatever the thing was. And then they would like save the world with those tools, some way, somehow. But I feel like you're bringing into existence and you're manifesting. I feel like you're somebody also who could be, okay, please don't be afraid of this, but I'm just going to say for maybe 1 or 2 of you, you guys have an illness and you know that you're ill, you're not doing well, and you've been on a long-term illness thing. Maybe you've been out long-term with a sickness, and maybe you've been in the hospital, that kind of a thing. And so only if this fits, I feel like you understand and you're starting to come to terms with the circle of life. And I feel like you're starting to make a connection with the other side as well. Again, this is only for 1 or 2 people. I'm not predicting anything negative because this has been long standing here in the cards. Do not be afraid, okay? And for those people, those very few people, I'm just going to say that you're coming into a peace with the idea of crossing over, with seeing what is on the other side, beyond the veil, that kind of a thing. And I feel like what you're manifesting is a peace about it, a growth about it, an optimism, to also understand that everything is energy and that energy never ever dies. And so if that is you, I just want to give you a big, big hug. For the rest of you, I'm looking at this, and this appears to be like a serpent, right? Let's see if we can get in there closer. Come closer. Not close enough to look at my chip polish, no. But yeah, look at this serpent kind of around his waist, and he's got what I call the nimbus right here. It's a divine protection. I feel like you're making peace. And for the rest of you guys, I feel like you could be even seeing portals. You are manifesting very quickly, so be very careful with your thoughts. I feel like even when you jump in the car and things like that, just like really positive affirmations, everything always works out for me. I'm always at the right place at the right time. I am divinely supported. People love and care and support me. Everything in my life comes with ease. It is beautiful. My life is beautiful, and just embracing things like that. I feel like for some of you guys can have a deep connection to water, or you could be experimenting with manifesting and things like that. You just want to be really careful how you wield that power. Yeah, because I'm hearing, that could be returned in 3 if you're using, your magic and your power. I feel like magic to me could be like your personal magnetism and things like that. But if you're using it for nefarious reasons, for just like strictly benefiting yourself, for elevating yourself, for your image, for status, or because you want the attention, the affection of that one person who you haven't been able to nail it down with, or whatever, those things are, let me just say, those things require another examination, okay? So double check yourself before you wreck yourself. Pile number 3, and this is with much love that I say this, okay? I feel like there's something in here about pillars of strength, about definitions. I feel like you're redefining everything. What does it mean to be strong? Is it like you have to enter the bodybuilding contest and lube yourself down from chest to toe so we can see all the definitions? I'm such a dork. I'm just kidding. But you get the point. I feel like you're starting to really understand that even in stillness, there is strength. Even in just breathing, there is strength. Even if you are somebody who's like meditating and coming to terms or accepting things such as like maybe you're not having quite the impact on the world that you would have thought when you graduated high school, when you were in grade school, or I feel like this big sense of reevaluating everything and doing it with wonder and doing it with excitement and doing it with like, wow, this is even like possible. I feel like some of you guys are also decalcifying is it pineal gland? I always call it pineal gland and I always say it wrong. Just don't listen to me. But it's the P gland. Your third eye gland, okay? It is your third eye. I feel like some of you guys are decalcifying that. And you're taking measures to really kind of grow in strength and to really change things up. I also feel like you've undergone this paradigm shift where you're looking at okay, everybody wants a checkmate. Like you're looking off the grid. You're looking away from society, the way things are made, the way that, things are, quote, supposed to be. I do air quotes just now in case you're not looking. And I'm going to say that a lot of you guys are looking at like the chessboard of life, right? The grid that we've been giving. You got to, graduate, then you got to go to college, and you got to do this, and you got to be a good person. You got to be an upstanding citizen. And I feel like you're in the stage of life very similar to myself where we're questioning. It's like, well, who says that's a good citizen? Who says that's the right way to do things? And who says, we have all these rules and regulations. And, if you want to take... do I want to get into that? Yes, we do. So That was a quick yes. But pile number 3, you know that we're always going to go down the rabbit hole together a little bit here if you're still with me. So I take, places like China and okay, good citizen. And there's an extremism to everything. And I feel like moderation is something that you're really learning how to balance. But also to question things that it's like, what is good? Am I letting other people go before I have to go? And is it, am I coddling society, or am I forging my own way and allowing them to forge their own way? Keep in mind that butterflies are not really made to be able to be helped out of their cocoon. They're made to muscle their way through that cocoon and break it themselves in order to flourish, in order to be able to have the strength to grow, to fly, to navigate things in a certain way. And if we decide that we're going to assist and not allow them that opportunity, we can really handicap these butterflies, right? And so I feel like metaphorically, you're starting to really look at things in that way and grow. And so Spirit is saying, 10 toes down, keep going. I know that you're weary. I know that sometimes the tide seems like it is against you, but I promise, pile number 3, the tides are about to, I heard unleash on you. I don't mean it that way, but I feel like you're going to have the abundance, the emotional, spiritual abundance that you have been craving, that you've been wanting. And I see a ton of pink here, right? And this could be love. This could be beauty, love, and peace. And who doesn't want that? That is like the triad of all triads, right? The Wheel of Fortune is coming around for you. And with the 10, we have the indication of a 1. So a lot of new beginnings. I'm excited for you. The Magician's beginning. This is a beginning. I mean, good grief, let me know what is going on in your life if you feel comfortable. Also, give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Give me ideas for content, you guys. If not, I'm going to be wildin' like I am today. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste.